Hello everyone. So it's a very interesting story of one of my students who wrote CAT 2024, and he came to me and he said, "Sir, I cracked one of the passages out and out without even trying to bother everything as to what was written because it was on rodents in Australia." And sir, I am an avid National Geographic watcher and I read also. So for me, it was almost like a cakewalk. Interesting. That is where I believe recall value and muscle memory will rule the roost when it comes to CAT and reading comprehension section. Ironically, most of the students get hit hard on that day when they come across passages which for them are very abstract because they read what they like to read before CAT exam. What they should do is they should read what they don't like to read quite often. And I'm telling you, this is very powerful because CAT requires people to read something which is intellectually stimulating, which is abstract, which is not run of the mill, and which at times is boring. Reason, you are planning to become a future leader and a manager, and you will have clutter of data, you'll have plethora of data, and you have to really have little time to read between lines. Unless you are used to of reading something which is intellectually so stimulating, it's not going to be easy. That's why they actually make sure that they weed out people or they eliminate students who don't like to go beyond certain level of reading as far as CAT is concerned. So my analysis tells me that in last 10 years there are 5 themes which have been repeated in different CAT exams. So I would advise people to go through these 5 themes in next 2 months and master these themes. Because if you master these themes, you can crack CAT exam out and out. I'm sure about it. The first theme is philosophical thoughts and ideologies. Philosophy is love for logic, and every CAT exam will have passages based on philosophy. Now, Eastern philosophy and Western philosophy, there's a huge difference. So, phenomenon like existentialism, metaphysics, phenomenon like nihilism, the theory of logic, soul, concept of rebirth, everything which possibly is slightly abstract, you will find in philosophy. And that's why my advice to people would be that you read one book which caters to Eastern philosophy and one book which caters to Western philosophy. Bertrand Russell is a favorite author of CAT examiners. So I would recommend people to read one of the books written by Bertrand Russell. It could be Why Am I Not a Christian, or any book that excites you. Swami Vivekananda would be the best author for Eastern philosophy. One of his volumes, first or second, I would say read that. It will help you a lot. Be comfortable with phenomenon pertaining to philosophy. The second theme that I would recommend is theme pertaining to sociology and social science. Phenomenon like globalization, how societies have evolved, how races have evolved, the concept of nationalism, the concept of supranationalism. These are so powerful, and I would recommend people to read one of the best books from where I think thrice or 4 times CAT exam has witnessed passages. The book's name is Clash of Civilization by Samuel Huntington. The book is about how races have evolved and how future is going to be like. So it's a fantastic book. One must read in order to actually command solid grasp over this theme. The third theme in my approach is business, politics, and economics. It's an eternal theme, and concepts like globalization, the concepts like different way societies look at business, political ideologies, socialism, capitalism, communism, how these ideologies are very subtle and very different. Books like Communist Manifesto, Wealth of Nations, and of course, book written by Thomas Friedman, The World is Flat. So read these books or read articles pertaining to these. You might get passages from these. The fourth theme, to my mind, is science, technology, and ecology. One of the most powerful themes, concepts like string theory, concept of time, how ecology is actually changed over a period of time. concept of cosmos, a great book written by Carl Sagan called Cosmos. Then Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking. Then Isaac Asimov series. Try to master this theme called science, technology, and ecology. Concept of environment, how environment is getting degraded, and I'm sure you'll get so many ideas when you read these books. And last but not the least, a very powerful theme in my understanding, which possibly will change the way you're looking at the whole concept of reading comprehension, would be something which possibly ignites your passion towards constitution, towards history, towards modern history, towards concepts like World War I, World War II, reasons behind these wars, great leaders or powerful leaders, Benito Mussolini, Adolf Hitler, Winston Churchill. Then you go back to kingdoms in India and how these kingdoms evolved. These 5 themes will really make sure that you're comfortable when you're reading these tough passages and you're at home and you can crack these passages. So practice these themes, write more tests, and then see how your scores change. And do let me know if it works for you. Thank you.